Good morning, stock traders, and welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, Stock Sumo, and thanks for joining us on this wonderful Wednesday, July 25th, 2012. Folks, you know what time it is. It's time to top off your cup of coffee with Stock Traders Talk as we look through the markets. So open up your charts, turn on those scanners, and fire up your trading accounts. Joining me today, and one and only member of the radio show today, Haas.
Don't sell yourself short. We're going to rock this show together there, Stock Sumo. What's going on this morning, buddy?
That's right, man. Just living the dream. Just living the dream. Ready to rock and roll as usual.
Oh, you found the dream? Why don't you define that for me? What's the dream?
I had a dream. And that dream was to bring traders across the help educate them in making smart decisions in their trades. I had that dream, and that dream came to me many moons ago.
That was awesome improv right there, Stock Sumo. My day's already going well after that.
Awesome. Well, hey, just want to throw this out there for our listeners. Anybody tuning in, you want to give us a call, feel free to give us a shout and share your thoughts with us on air. We'd love to hear from you. Always like hearing from our listeners. That call-in number is 347-215-7181. Again, it's 347-215-7181. Always encouraged to hear from our listeners. And I just want to remind everybody that tonight we have a CEO interview lined up. So be sure to tune back in at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to hear from MHYS. Awesome. Haas, what do we have this morning to talk about?
I got a couple I'm going to bring up this morning before we get going on any news or anything. But yeah, make sure you tune into that interview tonight. I think it's going to be a good one. Seems like very intelligent management at MHYS, Mass Hysteria Entertainment. And the stock was obviously pretty hot yesterday. People anticipating what will be said on that interview. So make sure you go do your due diligence, check out those iHub boards, get familiar with the company before you actually listen to the interview. And I think it's going to be a good one. So make sure you tune in. First company that I want to talk about this morning, I actually just came across just through looking through some news today. You know, the biopharmaceutical stocks have been hot. And I like to find bio stocks really, really early, stick them on a long-term, mid-term, short-term watch list. Obviously, we've been talking a lot about PDUFA dates, which are more short-term stuff, you know, a month out, you can play the little run-up. But another thing you want to keep in mind, especially when you have some of these companies that are entering like phase 3 cancer trials, which, you know, those don't happen overnight. They have to get all the approvals. They have to get the drugs synthesized for these cancer trials. It costs a lot of money. They need partners. And even then it takes, 1-2 years to go through these clinical trials. And then you have to do 2 more phase 3 trials before the FDA ever lets you submit your NDA if you ever wanted to have a chance for approval. But one that I came across this morning that I'm just putting on my sort of mid to long-term watch list as far as biopharm stocks go that are kind of relatively on the quiet. I haven't seen this one posted too much around the boards. I haven't seen it mentioned in too many articles. But I have a feeling it's going to start heating up as they enter their phase 3 cancer trials. So let's take a look at this one. Northwest Biotherapeutics Incorporated. Tickers NWBO. This one closed at 22 cents yesterday on above average volume, I would say. But the news this morning, I don't know how to pronounce this, but Fraunhofer IZI receives official certification for manufacturing of Northwest Bio's DC-Vax-L product. All right, so what's going on here? Announced today that its partner in Germany, that's the Fraunhofer IZI, has received the official approval and certification from the national regulatory agencies in Germany for the manufacture of NWBO's DC-Vax-L immune therapy for human patients with glioblastoma multiforme brain cancer. So they got a treatment for a very specific form of brain cancer. A key thing to keep in mind with that is it's probably going to be a small market if the drug ever does get approved. But it's a very unique form of brain cancer, not really too many treatments out there for brain cancer, so it's very novel in and of itself, and that creates a little more hype around the time that you get close to approval. So there's a couple things you have to consider. You have to consider the market size. Let's take something like hyperlipidemia or high cholesterol or something like that. A drug for that, people know what that is. They can relate to it because someone in their family probably has it, and there's just a massive, massive market for something like that. Something like brain cancer, there's not going to be too many patients. But it's very novel. There's really no treatments for it right now, whereas there are a bunch of treatments that are going to be competing against, those high cholesterol drugs and things like that. So if this gets through the clinical trials and, it's approved for the treatment of this very specific form of brain cancer, they'll probably own the entire market. So whatever that market is what they'll have. So a couple things you need to consider when you're looking at these different types of drugs, what they treat, and the potential market for the companies, all right? And the reason why I wanted to bring this one forward, just going to their website and taking a look at the pipeline like I always like to do, is this one seems relatively quiet down at 20 cents when they have a drug/treatment in both brain cancer and prostate cancer trials, or just entering into those trials. It looks like this brain cancer trial entering into phase 3 trials as well as phase 2 trials at the same time. And it also can be used to treat prostate cancer, a much larger market, also entering into the phase 3 trials. Okay, and they also have, obviously right here, phase 1, phase 2 stuff going on with some of, it looks like the same treatment protocol for any type of cancer. So this is a wide-ranging treatment for cancer. They started off focusing on brain and prostate, so that's advancing through those trials a little bit quicker. But obviously the potential to expand into other types of cancers as well. Looks like they got a second drug here, some different types of antibody drugs that are in some more preclinical phase 1 stuff. But again, I just started looking at this company today after I saw the news this morning. So I have to do some more due diligence as far as partners and whatnot. But anytime I have a company trading at 20 cents, relatively low market cap, kind of under the radar, you don't see it pumped everywhere on all these biofarm boards and stuff like that. That's something I'm going to look at if they got some phase 3 cancer trials for brain and prostate cancer going on, or they're just entering into it. And also overseas with the EU approval today, so to synthesize the drug. So good stuff here. Just starting to look at Northwest Bio. As far as dollar volume around the stock, let's just take a look briefly at DD Amanda here. It's lots of dollar volume traded around the stock for the most part. But just yesterday, obviously a little more interest than usual, $250,000 a day. Big green candle. Seems to have trouble with this. Looks like about a 20 to 40 cent area. Why don't we take a look at the chart on this one? Stock Sumo, can you pull up a chart on this? Let's take a look at this. I want some analysis on that chart, actually. Is Stock Sumo, are you alive?
Oh, just got back. I was filling up my cup of coffee. I don't even know what ticker symbol you're talking about here. What do you need a chart on, bud?
NWBO.
New World Border.
No, NWBO, Northwest Biotherapeutics.
I know, I just totally made that up, New World Border. Okay.
You listeners, you see what I got to deal with every day. Seriously, come on.
Well, if you paid attention and you saw in our little chat room that I said that I was going to get a cup of coffee, give me a few minutes, you would have seen that. You would have known that I wasn't here, but I'm back. All right.
I'll forgive you. Just
I got a fresh warm cup of coffee too. Good thing I got that Keurig, man. I don't have to wait for a whole pot. It just does it real quick. All right. I got the chart up on Northwest Biotherapeutics Inc. Nice looking chart coming off a bottom here. Let's pull this thing down a little bit. hold on. Okay. You could see yesterday had the big day, big candle here, shot up 24%, hit a high of 30 cents, closed out at 28 cents, and it traded 941,000 shares. And key break yesterday was getting above these moving averages. You got the 100-day and the 50-day that it passed through. You can see it had a tough time getting above this 50-day here in the past, just here in June and July. It got above it here at one point, got above the 50 and the 100-day, but fell back down and couldn't break above that 50. Yesterday we got above it and got closed above the 200-day. Now it did that back here in June, and it fell back, so it needs to hold above support at this 100-day, which is currently sitting at 27 cents. That's going to be key. If not, you know, it might fall back to its current support level, which is at 23 cents. That's the 20-day moving average. Looking at the RSI, it's showing strength. Notice it held above the 50 MA overlay this whole time, where it was consolidating after this run up from 18 to 31 cents. It consolidated, held a higher support level in the 20 cent range here, and the RSI held above the 50 MA overlay that whole time, so that's nice. And then boom, yesterday, big day, so the RSI cranked up, looks like it's heading into the power zone. PPO, that's pointing north. Blue bars in the histogram going to the top side, those look good. And the slow stow also punched through that 50 MA overlay, so that's key. It's showing some strength. I'd like to see the slow stow keep going north here and get above the 50 line. So I like the way that this chart is looking. Just the key thing is holding above this 100-day moving average, because you can tell it's had a tough time holding above that here. The past few pops that the stock has made, it hasn't held above this 100-day, so we want to see it hold above that, and that'll be a good sign. All right, good stuff. Back to you, Haas.
Cool, man. Yeah, it's just a little mini spot. Put it on your mid to long-term pharmaceutical watch list, people. As I said, they have a long ways to go before they actually proceed through those clinical trials, but prostate cancer, brain cancer, stock seems pretty unrecognized as far as these biopharmaceutical stocks go, at least right now. And if they don't dilute too much, that one will run big at some point. So keep your eyes on it.
I was looking at my scanner here earlier. Let me try to find this one. I saw some biopharmaceutical stock that I've never seen before. I mean, ever since we've been following all these biopharma plays, every time I see a new one, my ears perk up like a puppy dog. BCRX, I think it is.
BioCryst.
Yeah, what do these guys do, Haas?
Let's check.
Yeah, they were hitting my scanner. Not a lot of volume, but it's traded 6 trades. Pre-market, it's $4.42.
Looks like they put out some 52-week safety results yesterday for a phase 2B trial of ulodacine. Looks like it's added to some other drug in patients with gout. So it looks like they got a treatment for gout in phase 2 trials. Let's see.
That's a pretty common problem. A lot of people with gout.
Yeah, I'm not even sure about the market for gout. I haven't looked at it, but let's see what else they got in the pipeline real quick here.
I know it's a pain in the neck having that. I had a friend once that had it, and he just, you know, anytime he consumed something that his body didn't agree with, especially if he drank a lot of alcohol, he would get the gout, and his ankle would get swollen, and it was just very uncomfortable for him, and he had a tough time walking with it.
Yeah, I'm looking at their pipeline here. They got some other stuff in the pipeline too. That was the phase 2 results that they just put out yesterday. They also have a couple other treatments. It looks like they got ferrotocin is in some cancer phase 2 trials. We got a drug already approved, Permavir outpatient flu vaccine or something, it looks like, already approved, or some sort of treatment for the flu there. Looks like they also have another pivotal phase 3 trial for acute influenza. It was already approved for seasonal influenza, so obviously a huge influenza market. Looks like they also have a hepatitis C treatment in preclinicals, so they have a nice little pipeline there. It's a nice little company. Yeah, good stuff, Sumo. Nice find. I like it. Put it on the watch list. Another one that I absolutely have to talk about this morning. Cop actually brought it up last night. We always bullshit a little bit in the nights, bring up a couple plays that we think might start to get some interest. And I wasn't going to talk about it. I was going to wait for him to talk about it, but it looks like it's getting some chatter on the board, so I'm just going to bring it up. So sorry, Cop. Just going to have to do it, buddy. They put out some press yesterday. This ticker is SYAI Systems America. This one closed at 3 cents yesterday. This is a classic case of kind of a quiet company coming out of the woodwork and showing us their hand. Systems America to move to Pink Sheet's current information tier. Again, this was put out yesterday post-market. Systems America Inc., a premier provider of cloud computing and information technology solutions, announced today the following closing the market today. It received notice that Pink Over-the-Counter Markets finished processing the company's annual report for the year 2011, quarterly reports for the period ending March 31st, 2012, and June 30th, 2012, and it intends to move the company to Pink Sheet's current information tier before the next market open on July 25th, 2012, which is today. So just moving over to Pink Sheets, we can see that clearly they are now over-the-counter Pink current information. All right, so just looking at the filings here on Pink Sheets, we have no filings. Last filing was on May 23rd, 2011, so over a year ago. And then just yesterday, they put out annual report, interim financial reports, couple of quarterlies, couple more interim financial reports, and attorney letter with respect to current information. All yesterday. So you think that they're getting ready to get a little action around their stock and start telling us what the heck they're going to do? Yeah, I think so.
What's that ticker symbol again?
This one is SYAI.
SYAI. All right, cool. I'm going to put that one on watch.
Oh, yeah, and it gets better than that. Going over to Edie Amanda, our favorite due diligence tool. We can see that the stock basically has no interest at all for ages. You know, you got one $10,000 day up near 4 cents back on July 2nd. But other than that, it's basically been zero volume. Yesterday, even 3,500 in volume. So no real front loading going on. Stock's just kind of sitting relatively quiet. Company's not talking. And guess what? Now they're starting to talk. And they put out a ton of filings post-market yesterday. And there's chatters increasing on the boards. There's a couple of bigger iHub names on there. I've seen it posted in a couple of Skype rooms. So there's definitely going to be some interest on this one today. So let's take a brief look at the share structure. Going back to Pink Sheets here. Come on, company info. We can see that we got a nice float here. You know, obviously this is all going to be current now. We got a current Pink Sheet company. Outstanding share count, 81 million. A float of 12 million shares right now. Sitting at 3 cents. Market cap of about $2.5 million. So let's just take a look at this interim financial report. See if we can tease out anything significant here about what's been going on recently. First couple of things that I'll look at, let's look at the asset versus liability ratio. You can see we have total assets of about 2.5 million bucks. About 1.5 million of that is goodwill, which I hate seeing. I basically just ignore goodwill. So let's just say $1 million in assets. They do have quite a bit of cash on hand, actually, $540,000. It's always nice to see a company with a lot of cash on hand as well. So good stuff. As far as their asset base, let's take a little brief look here at liabilities. We got about total liabilities of, oh, go figure, about the amount of cash they have on hand. So cash to liability ratio is actually really good too. Not too many liabilities. They have a few accounts payable, but a real good asset to liability ratio right there. Pretty clean as far as that goes. I'd definitely like to see that. Let's move down to revenues. We have 3 months ended June 30th, 2012. So this is just one quarter, bringing in about just over 400,000 in revenues. So take that on a forward-looking basis. You're looking at about 1.6 million, 1.7 million bucks a year right now, and that's not factoring in growth, which they surely will. So a decent amount of revenues coming in already too. And they have a net income on those revenues. It looks like about 15% is going straight to the bottom line on net income. So that's pretty decent right there. Net profitable company, bringing in good revenues, really nice share structure coming out of the woodwork. Starting to talk now. Yeah, I like that. Cloud computing, obviously a massive, massive potential industry sector. All right. Looks like this is another point that I just want to bring up just within this last quarter here. Issuance of common stock in connection with the acquisition of Mile 5 Solutions. So they're acquiring other companies, other technologies with restricted shares. So they're making some acquisitions in the recent past year, and I would expect into the near future here as well. So I can't wait for this company to start putting out some press related to their business operations, what they plan to do, and how they expect to grow the company. Most of this other stuff is just organization of the company. I already looked through it. There's a couple of decent tidbits about that Mile 5 acquisition, but I'm not going to go through it right now. But definitely put this one on your watch list. I expect it to get some action today and into the near future. SYAI, Systems America. We'll see how it plays out. Anyways, that's what I got for this morning. Sumo, you have any stocks you want to take a look at this morning, or should I roll into some news?
I got something.
All right.
Nokia. I talked about this one before. I like the company. These guys were one of the first companies out there in the cell phone market. Cell phone industry, big industry to be in. They're coming off of low. This morning they're gapping up. The last time I brought Nokia up, I was talking about how I liked it as a chart play to watch it for a bottom. And today you can see it's gaining some steam here, up 3% pre-market. Look at this chart though. It looks like it's starting to stack up higher lows off of this recent low of $1.63. So long term, mid to long term, I want to keep Nokia on the radar for a recovery play. Notice the RSI came off of being oversold. It punched through the 50 MA overlay. I want to see this RSI start to point north, get above the 50 line. The blue bars on the histogram just recently turned over to the positive side. That's looking good. The PPO just crossed over recently, so that's looking good. I want to see this PPO split apart, show a bunch of divergence, get above the 50 line, and that'll show some strength. The slow stow is above the 50 line. That's good. I want to see that stay above the 50 MA overlay, not the 50 line, excuse me. It's above the 50-day moving average. So I want to see that hold above this 50-day moving average. I'd like to see that get above the 50 line. So we're going to keep Nokia on watch here for a recovery off of this bottom. Notice it bounced right off of that bottom and ran into resistance here at the 20-day moving average. That's going to be the next key resistance, and that's sitting at $1.92. And pre-market, Nokia is trading at $1.82 by $1.83. That's a gain of 6 cents on the day. That's 3.41% on 205 trades and 693,000 shares in volume so far out of the gate. SSH is gapping up big this morning. It's up 27%. Last traded at $12.78. We'll move over to the scanner for the OTCs. See what we got there. We got SPOW, SPOW. We got CEII and CDOC. All trading pre-market volume. CDOC is last traded at 11 cents, a bid of 8.5 cents. 200,000 shares traded on one trade. CEII is at 96.1 cents by a dollar. It's up 2 cents on the day, a gain of 2% on 7,500 shares. That's 2 trades on the day. SPOW is 3-1 by 3-2. Last trade at 037. It seems to be gapping up to the tune of 007. That's a gain of 23% so far pre-market on 10 trades, almost 300,000 shares in volume. So we're about 3 minutes away from the open here. I don't know if Haas is still around. He might have went to go fill up his coffee cup. Haas, if you're back, if you got anything news-wise you want to talk about, feel free to chime in.
Sure, I can roll over some news releases into the open. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to start off MJNA. I like my marijuana companies. Medical marijuana, ticker MJNA, closed at 2.8 cents yesterday. This one's kind of been hanging around this 3-cent range. It likes to fluctuate between 3 and 5 cents. Always some interest on this stock as far as dollar volume goes. They put out some press yesterday, also this morning. Let's go over the press today. Phytosphere Systems, a medical marijuana incorporated portfolio company to bring production facilities to Europe through Canapa Holdings. Let's see here. The expansion will be done through MJNA's newly formed portfolio company Canapa, which has established an office and team in the city of Bucharest, Romania, to handle its European product launch and distribution. Okay, so it's very similar to its news they put out yesterday related to expanding into the European area. So good stuff.
STEM is gapping up once again. STEM up just about 5% here pre-market. That's a gain of 10 cents. It's last traded at 218. 167 trades so far pre-market, and that's 116,000 shares. Look at the chart on STEM. Oh yeah, just beast mode. After that big gap up, it gapped up from the 87-cent range up to $1 plus. It was up like $1.05, $1.10 it gapped up to. Had that big run to $1.80-ish. Consolidated, held support above $1.25. And it's just been beasting ever since. 3 big green days in a row. And we're hitting new highs here. And notice we got Golden Cross City. We got the 20-day moving average coming up, getting ready to pass the 200-day. That's going to be one golden cross. You got the 50-day coming up here, getting ready to pass the 100-day. That's going to be another golden cross. So love the action on this chart. Look at the volume bars these past few sessions. Just big volume flowing through the stock. And the RSI cranked up in the power zone. All the indicators looking super fine. Loving this action on STEM. Oh,
nice. Yeah, that thing's been a beast, man. We call that through like the dollar area break or something. That was massive. These bios, they just get a life of their own, and you know, STEM with their stem cell trials, it's hot topic, very novel, good stuff. Thing's been a beast.
Yep, and we're off.
Just another company that I've been keeping my eyes on with some really good revenue numbers and really high growth rate. Just put out some revenue outlook press this morning. I've mentioned it on the boards. I've mentioned it on the show over the course of the last week. ESP Resources, ticker ESPI, put out revenue expectations for the second quarter ended June 30th, 2012 Revenues are expected in the range of $5.5 million to $5.7 million, which is an increase of between 140% and 148% from the company's 2011 period. So super high growth rate for this company here that services oil and gas wells. That's just within the quarter. We're talking like 20 to 25 million in revs per year. I think the market cap is around 15 million bucks right here. So one to keep an eye on, in my opinion. All right, let's see what we got.
HYSR, Hyper Solar. Not sure if it's on promotion, but it's hitting my scanner. It's moving up. It's up 37.5%. 663,000 shares traded. Last at 044.
I'm going to check my email to see if we got anything on that. Yep, on promotion. Keep that in mind.
Yep.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, just means tread cautiously. Let's see what else we got going on today, boys. Oh, man. I don't know if my brain's just foggy or what, but I can't remember what's been running the last several days, man. Oh, I was talking about being foggy yesterday, but this is a whole nother level. We got a foggy ass. Oh, man.
Everybody's phone company, EVPH, moving a little bit here this morning. 75% on 5 million shares. 0014 is up.
Yeah. You can talk about that one if you want.
Just mentioning stuff that I see on my scanner, you know?
No, I know, definitely not. That one was hanging down nice and low, hitting some 52-week lows yesterday.
RENU, it opened up at 0032, dipped to 0028. 003s are going here.
Yeah, this one's getting a lot of chatter. We've obviously mentioned this one a few times over the last little while. There's some rumors about some big news flow starting up, so we'll see how that plays out. But getting some good action this morning on the 003 area. 666. 700 in volume so far today. Sorry, I had to emphasize the 666. Wow.
400,000 share block goes through on that. That looked good.
Nice bids coming in on the 003 there. I like seeing SUNR on the bid. Moving up. What'd you say the key point break was this? You put a really nice chart up yesterday. I think it was 0038. If it breaks that, it's kind of got some open skies.
Yeah, it's got to get through these moving averages here. 0032 and 0033, I believe. Okay. The 50-day is currently sitting at 0033. Here, let me pull up the chart so everybody can see this. Whoa.
Got some bidders stepping up. I like it.
All right. So the 50-day is sitting right here at 0033, and the 100-day is sitting at 0032. Needs to get through these lines, and then that next key resistance is going to be the 0038 mark. Notice back here, right here, it ran into resistance around there, and right back here. So if it can get through those resistance points, you can see it's moved before in the past. 0073 right here. Back here in February, it ran to a penny. So we could see it get some legs if it can break through these moving averages and bust through the resistance. Key thing is watch for it to break resistance and hold those previous resistance as support. That'll be a good sign.
Obviously, we were keeping an eye on Vert here, VERT. He has been moving up pretty easily, but sometimes these market makers that don't show their size, we'll see if they move. But if he gets out of the way, it's setting up nicely.
Where's he at right now?
He is at 3-2. He is the sole market maker on 3-2. He just moved. Nice bid stepping up on the 0032. He moved all the way to $2, so hopefully he's out of the way for good.
Nice.
No toxic market makers to the 1 cent area. We do have a fat bid on 0033 of 1 million shares. Douchebag. All right, let's find another one here. Oh, why don't we pull up Sudi? That was a hot one yesterday. Oops. Sudi, down big today. Down 15.7%. 750,000 in volume. Last traded 194. 1.8 by 189 spread. Looks like it got down from 2.3 to 2.1. What else we got rolling? Rolling. Ew. One that I've been kind of keeping an eye on in accumulation mode, ticker is FITX, Creative Edge Nutrition. Did a little mini spot on it way back. Probably around the 007, 006 range when it was relatively quiet. They just went through a name change and company change, basically. This is that Synergy Nutrition Company, or that brand, I should say. And they also have some other products. But this one's been on accumulation mode. Let's take a look at DD Amanda and kind of assess that a little bit. This is why I like DD Amanda so much. In addition to any 8K that comes out, direct email right to me right when it comes out. That's always nice too. But anyways, as we can see, over the last probably 2-3 weeks, down from this 002 area, it kind of sold off on really, really low volume. We see that with some companies, and sometimes that's the best opportunity to slowly load the thing. But as you can see, volume starts creeping up over the last couple of weeks, and the share price is moving right along with it. And it's steadily been making new highs over the last several days to close at 1.2 cents yesterday. In the last 3 days, we've seen anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000 in loading, which is a good, double or triple on the usual volume. So speculating on something coming there, keep your eyes on it. And I'm biased because I was a nutrition science student, so I like all the nutrition companies. How about those Apple and Netflix earnings, Sumo? Gross. How are those two doing this morning? I wasn't actually expecting a flush, but that works. That works. It's good.
I missed the toilet flush.
I do too, man.
It's always a pleasure to bring it back.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we basically just need excuses to use it. That's how good it is. All right, let's see. We have... What else is getting action this morning? Oh, I found an excuse for the toilet flush again. That CTDT has an E on the end of it now. I don't even know if it's a company anymore. Can I get another flush quick?
Yeah.
I love the toilet flush, man. Wow. EVPH is getting some decent volume. But that thing was hammered down. It's just at 0012, so we'll see. Looks like Cooper Holding, Coho, getting a little bit of action this morning, too. They put out news that they released their outstanding share count by another 50 million, I believe. They've been doing a lot of that lately. Let's take a look at that one on the level 2 real quick. Oh, well, they were getting some action. 7.5 million shares traded, 0012 by 0013 right now. Level 2 on the ass looks pretty thin, though. The SYAI, the one that we were just talking about on the show here, it's getting a couple taps, but gapped up a little bit. Closed at 3 yesterday, 4.8 today, and you're going to see that on a stock that doesn't really have any volume, and you just start to get interest on that first day. But 5 by 5.8 cents right now. We got a 20,000 share bid on 5 cents. We have 5,000 on the ask at 5.8. Level 2 looks pretty clean on both sides, up to that 15-cent area where I see market maker can't. So who knows? This one with the low float, 12 million float, just started talking. It's going to move pretty quick, at least initially, up to 66.7% so far on pretty low volume. Let's see what else we got going on today. Oh, geez, let's take a look at our pre-PDUFAs. Horizon kind of hanging out. HCMP, what's their other one? AMRN. Check baby out. Amarin hanging out too. How about T-Loan? T-Loan was hitting some 52-week highs. This is my current favorite PDUFA date run-up. TLON, last trade at 154, up 0.7% on the day, up from the 130s a couple days ago, breaking into new 52-week highs. I believe it touched 155 as the high yesterday, which is the last trade now, up 1.3%, 42,000 in volume today. I fully expect this to go higher into the August 12th PDUFA date.
Wow, big slapperooskies going on an old renew. Slap that ask, baby, slap that ask.
Yeah, we had a little turd on 0033 there, it looked like, and he got taken out nicely. We got a pretty clean level 2 screen on the ass side of things right now. She's moving up. Nice little bidder stepping up on 0032 there.
ATDF stepping up on the bid. He's hungry for shares. Hungry hippo. Okay, RENU just popped through that 0033, which is a key resistance mark. Now the next key resistance that we're watching for a break is going to be 0038 and 004. She can get through those ranges. Could be some nice added gains here. Yesterday we were watching for the resistance at 003 to break, and it's looking good so far out of the gate here. Now the bidder just stepped up to 0034.
Can't say I'm not smiling. Definitely own shares. We've been talking about this one for a couple months now, I think.
Oh yeah, I've accumulated that whole time since we've been talking about it. Just slow and steady, catching the dips. We'll be taking profit into the rips, no question.
That's all we do at STT Radio, folks. We try to get on them early. Sometimes way too early. So who knows? But she's getting some action today. I like it. Interested to see if some of these rumors come true. All right, what else we got rolling? Let's take a look at the old breakout boards on the hub.
ICNB just caught that one on my scanner. Iconic Brands, it's 009 by 011. Last trade at a penny, up 66%, and there's just over 500,000 shares traded on 21 trades.
Yep, I'm going to talk about this one a little bit because this was posted on a board yesterday, I think, or a couple days ago, actually. I'm going to look at DD Amanda first, and that'll tell you a little bit about why this one's moving so easily. As you can see on my screen right here, just starting things off, we got interest just starting to come in a couple days ago. So anytime you see something like that, you have $0 volume for ages, then you have a $4,000 day, then a $30,000 day yesterday. Just starting to get volume. First thing that comes to mind is you think, oh yeah, and some sort of filing came out or the company put out some announcement after being quiet for ages. So let's just check out Pink Sheets. Oh, come on. Pink Sheets, as you can see, skull and crossbones. So obviously they've been quiet for a real long time. See if they put out any filings. That's the first thing I would go to check. We see, okay, no filings. Click on financials. Let's check that. Doesn't look like they put out any financials recently. Let's check out news. All right, no news. So, let's see. Well, the next thing that comes to my mind is there's some sort of rumor spreading on the iHub. But first, let's check out and see if they actually have a site. Nope, you click on the site on Pink Sheets. So literally, they are not talking on Pink Sheets at all. You have this username, or not username, this site up for sale, basically. What did they used to do? Headquartered in New York, New York, Iconic Brands has developed, marketed, and distributed the highest quality celebrity-branded alcohol beverages. But who knows if they actually do that anymore because they don't talk. So let's go to the iHub and check that out. See if we can find something out. I'm talking about this one because this one could easily move much, much higher.
Well, I just want to say, while you've been talking about it, the volume's increased by about 60,000 shares, and we're last traded at 011, and the bid is trying to creep up there. It was flashing at 01 for a second.
Yep, okay. So I'm going to the iHub here. Well, the first thing I see is about, 3 or 4 pretty big iHub names, right? I mean, you got HDogTX here. He likes to uncover these stocks that just put out filings after being quiet for so long. Ellie, one of my favorite chicks on the hub. Kudos to you if you're listening. You got Running with Scissors. He's good too. Flexologist, decent. You got 777Z. He's pretty active. All right, so you got some people flocking to this stock. Some people are starting to learn about it. Let's go into the sticky post here and see if they found anything out. Looks like on July 10th, 2012, something happened here with trademark registration was updated on July 10th, 2012 for Bella Prosecco sparkling wine produced in Italy. Not sure exactly what that has to do with us yet. Let's see what HDog is posting here. Iconic Brands. Yeah, that's all old stuff. Oh, yep, this is a reinstatement play. It looks like this stock was just reinstated and registered agent change on July 20th, 2012, which was Saturday, I believe. So the first 2 trading days of the week, we start to get some volume, and now people are really flocking to it and really starting to do DD. Anytime you get a stock that's just reinstated, you think they're going to start putting out news and updating shareholders. So who knows? Maybe we'll see some news in the near future on this one, but it should be getting a little bit of attention. At least over the next week or so with this reinstatement before people either get bored or they get an update from the company. So, could be stuff. Good, some stuff coming on. It's a thin one up to at least this penny mark for sure, though. Hasn't gotten a whole lot of volume, but it's been moving. T-Loan, 160 by 162.
T-Loan, baby, yeah. When's that PDUFA date? August 12th?
August 12th. I was trying to tell people, man, I can only pound the table so much. No, this one was broke out about a month ago, and it kind of started running up a little bit too fast, and it had to consolidate in that 120 to 140 range for a little while before it broke out to new highs, which it did yesterday. Fully expect it to go higher from here into the PDUFA date. Real thin one, small market cap, low floater, can move pretty easy. And the leukemia market is actually pretty large, so good one. 5.9% in the green today. Last trade at 162. Man, look at that spread on RENU, 2.5 by 3.5.
Yeah, that's the market maker's way of trying to jostle some shares. These market makers look like they're running low. Vert's at 004. We've been seeing him scamper around, showing 5,000. He hasn't really had much out there. Let's see if he gets out of the way.
Getting some action now, boss.
Oh yeah, we are getting some action.
0035 by 0038. 400,000 on the bid at 3.5, up 16.7%. 3 million shares traded. 500,000 on the ask at 0038 through E-Trade. And then we got a few market makers on 004. If she can break this 004 area, I know you mentioned 0038 is the mark, but it's always like a little smaller range. 0038 to 004. If it breaks that range, it might move pretty good. 004 is up on the ask.
Woohoo!
Some big bids showing up.
ATDF, new to the game. He hasn't been on the bid side there since I've been watching the past few sessions. I like seeing him show up with some size there. 680,000 on the bid at 3.5.
Definitely. Wow. Wow. I like it. Speculation moves stocks. Hopefully, we'll see what the news brings if it comes.
004 is just printed. Let's see if Knight is holding, or Vert is holding true size. You got ATDF up there with 300,000, Knight with 145,000, and Vert with 5,000. EVPH 0014 is up now, 10.9 million in volume. And that ICNB last traded at 011, 0095 bid. Big smack on RENU 004s, 250,000. See if they take out this 004 and where we're going to go next. Looks like the market makers are moving back to over a penny. CDRG is at 013. You got Sunner at 014.
Looks like UNBC is getting a little bit of action today. Let's check that one out. Never mind. Never mind.
Can you pull up a level 2 on Nokia, NOK?
I'm not sure that I actually have I don't have big board level 2s, man. I have the last trade and the volume. That's about it. 181. 3.4 million almost in volume here.
Hit a high of 185. All right, bud. Well, we're close to that 10 o'clock mark. I think we found more than enough good stocks to talk about today, and I think our listeners should be pleased.
Definitely, man. No, there's some good stuff going on in the markets right now. Dollar volume is pretty good. I think the penny market's really going to pick up even more so than it already is in the fall here, so I'm excited for that.
Awesome. Yeah, me too, definitely. Looking forward to some of these biopharma plays into their PDUFA date. We got Horizon Pharmaceuticals, HZNP. We got TLON, TLON, bunch of good ones out there that we've been watching, and we'll continue to watch. Be sure to tune in to tonight's CEO interview, guys, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Guys and gals, everyone's welcome. The more the merrier, and be there or be square. We'll catch you on the flip side. Until then, tomorrow, 8 a.m., tonight, 8 p.m. We'll see you there. Thanks for tuning in, as always.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available